I'm 10 News reporter Joe Little, hundreds of feet above San Diego, doing the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. I'm 10 News reporter Joe Little being frozen alive. I'll tell you why coming up on 10 News. I think most of us are guilty of buying chicken nuggets every now and then, but very few of us have ever bought a nugget quite like the one I'm about to show you. I'm standing here on dirt. I'm literally 8 inches lower than you, standing on a rug, and I'm somewhere in between, standing on what used to be gravel. Talk about bad luck. Someone smashed this truck as it was parked right here. But this isn't the first time or the second time. Try 10 times. Coming up, I'll explain why the city says nothing can be done. The latest proposal puts a Ferris wheel on the end of Broadway Pier, only facing out so that it doesn't block any sight lines. Now, if I roll up in the 10 News Prius here, it's a pretty solid calling card. But any average Joe can grab a hard hat and a yellow vest and look official in a matter of seconds. That's why the city says you should call them and even check their ID. It's gonna pass through these pipes and there'll be a meter right here telling them how much water they're pumping out. Crews just pulled this old cast iron pipe out of the ground just a few minutes ago. You can see how old it is. I'm not exploring a Louisiana swamp. This is actually a water channel in the city of San Diego. Julietta here is a medical miracle. Just a few days ago, she was clinically dead, but here today, she's alive and well and getting ready to be adopted. Well, guys, I'm inside here with 8,000 chickens. Is there any fear that she's gone to the dark side and brought something bad?
Definitely.
Well, we're getting ready to blast off on what you used to know as Space Mountain, but now it's called Hyperspace Mountain. This is the old way we're used to parking, you know, hood into the parking spot. Down in National City, the new way, where they expect you to drive in and back into the spot. This is actually much safer for 3 different reasons. I'm gonna break down those 3 reasons coming up on 10 News at 6 o'clock, my friend. I have something that's going to save you time, money, and protect the environment. But it's gonna make your favorite mechanic pretty mad. And that's fine. I'll also tell you why you can blame the local government. Paying for parking and then looking for parking, especially at the airport, is a pain in the butt. Take a look at this alley behind me here in Imperial Beach. It really looks like cooked bacon. Driving down this thing is gonna be like an off-road adventure. Now I can hear what you're thinking. Joe, the 10 News Prius isn't exactly an off-road vehicle, and you would be correct. But there are hundreds of people who live in these alleys and they don't want to have to buy a truck just to get home. They're saving 4.3 million gallons of potable water by not watering this park. That's $27,000 they can spend somewhere else. You think you're saving water at your house? Think again, you're not saving anything compared to this house. The city of San Diego is responsible for taking our sewage and treating it, turning it into purple pipe water, which we use mostly in irrigation. Now the city's thinking about raising the cost of this water more than 100%. That works out to about $5 more on some water bills. They're gonna remove the grass and replace it with mulch, effectively trading the green for the brown. We're all being asked to conserve water, but sometimes we mess up.
Turn the water off!
That's why kids are being recruited to police their parents. A freshman here at the University of San Diego may have found the solution for California's drought, and it's as simple as creating water out of thin air. It took me less than 15 minutes here in San Marcos to find this long trail of water in this gutter here, and then I was shocked to see where it started. Well, you can certainly see and hear these guys fixing this sinkhole here in Valley Center. Here's the culprit, this 3-inch service line. Inside these pipes you see around me here is one of the sources of our future drinking water. And I hate to tell you, some of it originated in your toilet. Now, I'm not allowed to drink this water just yet because it's still in the testing phase, but you know what? Chances are many of you have had this water before right up the highway. Guys, there's no one out there crazy enough to take a glass of water straight from the ocean and drink it, but there are some scientists here locally who think that there is drinkable water underneath this water. Right now my camera is set up in the middle of the turn lane. The police have it coned off, so it's safe for me to stand here. But you can see on the right up here, this palm tree, it completely blocks the crosswalk. Is this as mean having this bus come by? No, that's a natural gas bus.
That is a natural gas bus, so that's good.
You gonna do it again?
Yeah, that'll make me even cooler, so.
That's an I don't care attitude. The latest thing floating on Mission Bay. Is it hard to pedal this thing?
No.
Can you see yourself having a beer here and
I mean, once I'm 21, absolutely.
there's like small, and then there's like a walk-in closet.
It's gonna be putting me outside of my comfort zone a little bit.
You eat out of a dumpster. Your comfort zone is pretty
It's pretty
wide.
big, yes.
A restaurant has stood at the end of this pier since the 1980s. Now the Port of San Diego wants to either make this one bigger and better, or they want to get rid of it altogether and build something new. If you're anything like me, you've enjoyed getting in the water, especially since it's so warm. Thank you, El Nino. But the people who are not thanking El Nino are all these dead fish out here in Imperial Beach that washed up this weekend. I won't lie to you, I collected all of this stuff downtown last weekend with the intention of giving it to my children. But then I come to find out that this ridiculous stuff is worth a small fortune. Now take a look at this drone. This one's a lot smaller than the one that crashed in San Ysidro. It can carry about 5 pounds. Oh, no. Defy gravity.
Doing great, Joe.
Oh. Right behind me is one of the thousands of vacation or short-term rentals here in San Diego that you can find on websites like Airbnb. But here in San Diego, the vacation rental market is a lot like the Wild Wild West. There are no rules or regulations. And that's where one local councilman has an idea to try and correct things. You certainly wouldn't expect to find this in your cheese quesadilla from Taco Bell. She took a chomp out of this and bit into a piece of one of these. The gear is finally here, the hats, the t-shirts, all of this stuff is finally on sale. The biggest problem facing the school district is they simply don't have enough teachers who can teach in Spanish. It's not as easy as turning on the TV and selecting Promulgación Secundaria de Audio.
Spanish is their second language.
Take a look behind me, guys. The Sweetwater Valley All-Stars are still going strong right now. They're taking fielding practice. At the same time, their parents are filling out questionnaires for the next tournament. This is for the broadcast. They're filling out questions like, what's your favorite color, your favorite team, your favorite player? There are a handful of schools here at Gillespie Field teaching people how to fly, but it's that noise right there is driving neighbors insane. Let me break this down using my kids' cars. We're used to cars driving along and pulling straight in. Oh, not here in National City. They redrew the spots so that cars would have to park backwards. The ultimate goal, fewer accidents, fewer calls to the EMT. Someone keeps swiping tip jars from North Park businesses, and one day that someone's gonna realize there are security cameras everywhere. As that guy runs a red light, I'm just looking at one of the deadliest intersections in San Diego. This is City Heights, and there's a local group that wants the city to pony up a hefty chunk of money to make this intersection a little bit safer. This is what neighbors are worried about. It was dug out in the past few days, and 3 people slept in here last night. Now the big concern is this little area is a small part of a much bigger cliff that supports a street and homes. Guys, I've lived here for 13 years and I've never driven up this road until a 10 News viewer called us annoyed with what he was seeing. Let me show you right here. You were looking at someone's sofa, about a dozen tires, and today's trash. But today I put it to the test. I recorded myself crossing the street a bunch of times, and it took less than 10 minutes before someone wanted to hit me. Apparently, San Diego police have a plan to place 10 surveillance cameras out here facing the water, watching everyone on the beach. And some people may have noticed these cranes here, they haven't moved since last Friday. And that's because there's too many of them and they're too tall. They're more concerned about what's lurking down here in the reeds where these mosquitoes are actually breeding. You can already see where they painted over the yellow line here. Then they're gonna put up a concrete barrier right here on this white line. That will create a safe area for a temporary sidewalk. Then they'll tear down this sucker and fill in this area for a permanent sidewalk. And they'll finish the project over here by pushing back this hillside and putting in another sidewalk. Take a look at these guys behind me here. All this cliff diving here at Sunset Cliffs, that's illegal in the city of San Diego. You can see behind me, they've started doing the landscaping for an expansion here at Sharp Chula Vista. They're adding a huge tower here to a hospital that's been here for more than 40 years. Circling the parking lot at Lindbergh. Yes, I found a spot. Contemplating dinner, setting up my eBay account. I might keep this. In Chula Vista. Wonder if there's any change between these cushions. Not drinking the water just yet in Santee. At this point, I just want to get down. Considering the dark side at Disney's Tomorrowland.
We part today on good terms.
Outstanding. Thank you, Lord Vader. Joe Little. Darth Vader. 10 News.